Have you been thinking about updating your old Shoei GT-Air or your Shoei GT-Air 2 for the brand new Shoei GT-Air 3? Well, I thought about it and I ended up buying one. And here's my review, owner's review after 2,000 clicks of the GT-Air 3 versus the older ones. Let's dig in. Greetings everyone, welcome to Clark Street Customs on this wet New Zealand day. We're inside the club rooms and today I was going to do something for you. I thought you could be interested in the comparison from an owner's perspective of the new Shoei GT-Air 3 versus the Shoei GT-Air, well I guess it's the one. My original Shoei, I've just bought the new GT-Air 3. I've done, what have I done? I've had it for about a month, done about 2,000 kilometers using it. Let's have a look at what the differences are between the two. So the first thing to perhaps note is just look at the difference in the sizing of the helmets themselves. Now, this is a bit of an unfair comparison because this, my original one, is a medium, which for Shoei and their shell sizes, the small and the medium are in the small shell size. The large has its own size shell, and the extra large and 2XL have obviously a larger shell again. So slightly unfair to look at the comparisons. Why have I gone to the large? I was just feeling a little bit tight around the top of my forehead over the last couple of years in this one. Don't ask me why. Has my head got bigger? Don't answer that question. Maybe it has. Or maybe the inside liner was just getting a bit worn. I tried on the medium and the GT-Air 3, and the large one in this middle shell size seemed to fit really nicely, so I went up a size to the large. So that's why I've got a slightly different shell size. A couple of key changes they've made. First thing is the visors, and so on the GT-Air and the GT-Air 2, the visor is the indent, well not the indent, but the place to put your thumb or your finger to pull it up is on the left hand side. On the new one it's right in the middle, and it's got a nice little button to lock it down on. The other one you just pulled it up. The first thing that I noticed about when I put the helmet on was the dedents, and there are 5. So there's a city crack there, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. On this one, you've got a city crack, which is, it's quite a lot higher. And then you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 as well. But this one, the city, where you're just going through the city and you just want to have a little one, it's just easy. It's just up just a bit, just to allow a bit of flow. It does take a little bit more to push it down. So when you've got it on your mug, you're driving along, I just put it and use my forefinger there and just snap it down. It can be a little bit tricky. What I found is just to go like that, down to there, and then click it in, and then you're done. This one was on the side, obviously. That took a little bit getting used to, but this is much easier. This one sometimes can be tricky to get it up off the thing, as you can just see there. This one, you just push that little button in, and then it comes up really nice and easy. So that, I think, is a big improvement. The other thing that I noticed is that the Shoei GT-Air 3 comes with the Pinlock Evo in the box, which is really good. And it goes round a little bit further round to the side. If we look at these two here, let's bring you in a little bit. Let me come up and I'll show you a little bit as we get a bit higher, get a bit closer. You can see how this one, the Pinlock goes round a little bit further, a little bit more peripheral. This one goes not quite as much. So that is another nice change in terms of the Pinlock. What are the key differences? Well, other than we've talked about the visor, let's talk about the ventilation. Really important in a touring helmet. The GT-Air 1 and the 2 had, they've changed it, so they've gone to what looks like a more sort of aerodynamic venting at the top. Now the vents are at the top of the helmet, the exhaust vents, whereas they were in the GT-Air original, they came out more at the back, and you had another vent which you'd open there. This now, you've just got the one on the top, you push it back to open it, it comes out. I've noticed that the top venting is a heck of a lot better than the GT-Air. So they've done something pretty cool there. You might ask yourself, which I did, is because now the exhaust vent's on the top, what happens in the rain? Well, if you've seen my video recently, went on a trip for 3 days. It rained just constantly for 3 days. Wow. The Met service said it was going to be a rain warning for the middle of the North Island. They were not wrong. I have never experienced anything like that on a motorcycle in my 50 years of riding. Never got any water inside the helmet, so they've done something really smart. It vents really well and it doesn't get rain in there, so I can put that one to rest. So top venting is changed. The other thing they've done is that they've now got these little spoilers, which are quite cool on the sides here. And so if we flick them up, and you can see where the sun visor one was, which the wind tunnel tested. That's the other thing, the wind tunnel tested it. They've got these little spoilers, and so now the sun visor lever is now tucked away under that. So that evidently cuts down the wind noise. Will come down to my personal experience around that. So you got your sun visor, but I want you to look at this, people. That's the sun visor on the GT-Air down. Here's the sun visor on the GT-Air 3, and you can see that I was always a little annoyed at the GT-Air that the sun visor didn't go down that far, and you had sort of this area here. Now on the new one, it goes down quite a lot further, and for your riding, it used to feel like I'm riding with a sun visor and it sort of stopped there. It was right on your eye line. Now it's like that, and so it's a really big improvement. So well done, Shoei, to do that. They've also changed the front vent, which now is a lot. Let's put those down. Seems to be a little, that one, yeah, does it work the same? Yeah, it works the same. You pop it down to get your vent up through. I think this is one thing that I noticed. I don't reckon the front vent is as good as the old vent. And I'm just looking at it now. That looks a bit wider than that. So the vent actually looks a bit wider in the original Air. The front venting, I'll have to do a few more Ks, but it just doesn't seem to be as good as the old one. Still adequate. I think it makes up for it in that you can flick up to that city crack, that one little vent up, and then you get lots of venting anyway. You've got on the inside, you've got your nose guard, which I use. Some riders don't like it, I do. And then of course underneath you've got your chin little one here, which you can easily take out if you don't like it. I like it, particularly in winter riding. It just takes a little bit of the air off it, and that's the same as the original. Inside, typical Shoei quality, really, really comfy. There is a fitting service you can get called PFS, Personal Fitting Service. Did you get that? Which is available at certain dealers, and they can do a personal fitment for you. I didn't have to do that. This felt really, really, really good just out of the factory for my head. You've got your emergency here. You've got your emergency pull out for if you are unfortunate enough to be on the side of the road and unconscious, and that's for the emergency services. You can use that. They can use that to pull out this so they can get your helmet off. Don't be tempted to pull that to get them out if you're servicing your helmet. You can just pull them out that way because you can break the little clippies. But anyway, they pull out nice and easy. Yeah, so that's the same pretty much as the other one. Look at that nice wear on that one. That's done some miles. Oh yeah, poor old thing. But it's still a good lid. Yeah, the other difference is the chin strap. So on the original, it had the old-fashioned double D. I never worried about the double D chin straps. It was always pretty easy. I understand that for emergency services, they can find that a little trickier, but they just cut it if you're really in trouble. But it's gone now to the micro ratchet way, which just sort of flicks in there. It took me a while to get used to that because all my helmets have had the double Ds. Yeah, that I've really liked that because you can easily adjust it. It's easy to get in, and it's now thinner than the other one. You probably can't, well, you can see that, and it's got this pretty cool, which looks like, I think they've got some little extra sewing in there to make it, I guess, to make it stronger, I guess. So that's another change. Let's talk about weight. As I mentioned, this is the smaller size helmet. So this one weighed in at 15 grams. I'll put up on the screen what that is in pounds for my American and UK friends. And the new one is slightly heavier, 1,700 grams. So it's not a lightweight. Did an 8-hour ride last weekend and it didn't notice it at all. And so, but just be aware that it is slightly heavier. Aerodynamically, you look on the website, they talk about the wind tunnel testing that I've done. It does seem to be, with these little spoilers and the less vents, the more streamlined vents on the top. I didn't notice any variation or anything untoward versus my original GT-Air. No crosswind issues. It felt on my head really, really, really good. The big question you're going to be asking, what about the noise? For me, the GT-Air, as its name is, I guess it's in the name, was promoted as being quiet, and the GT-Air one was one of the quietest helmets that I have had up until that point. This one carries on the same thing. It's really quiet. In fact, is it any quieter than that? I probably didn't notice that it was any markedly quieter. I'm always wearing earplugs, and peeps, if you are, motorcyclists, even quiet helmets like these, put your earplugs in. You want to protect your hearing, and even for a helmet of this quietness, I always wear my earplugs, and I'd advise you to as well. So aerodynamic-wise, weight-wise, slightly heavier, noise-wise, it's as quiet. I didn't notice it markedly quieter, so on a noise front, typical Shoei quietness. One cool thing they've done on the GT-Air 3 is that you've got this inbuilt, or it comes preloaded, preset, pre-engineered for the SRL, the Senna SRL3. The SRL2 was for the GT-Air 2. So that's all ready to go for that, which you didn't have on this. I haven't got that yet, so I'm just persevering with my old Senna SMH10, which I've just put the external one on the outside of that, so you can still do that. But yeah, that has got facility for putting in the SRL3. Evidently, it makes it nice and quieter because these do make a bit of noise back here. The other change they've made is to the gasket seal under the visor, which when you look at them side by side, always handy. It looks a lot more substantial. They've got a little gap here to let a little bit of air out for ventilation, but when it locks in, it really locks in solid. These were okay, but you can see the difference in that. As I said, I had a really, really rainy ride, got no water into this. To be fair, didn't get any water into the original one as well, but they've improved that. So let's talk pricing now, and US dollars for a straight black or white, it starts at $749.99. I'll just round them up, $750, and then up to $850 for the graphics. Pounds, I think it was £530 for the straight black or white, and then £650. Kiwi dollars, $12.50 for the base model, going up to $1,500. Interestingly, I did the comparison, what is $750 to Kiwi dollars? It's about absolutely line ball, $12.50 in Kiwi, $750 US, and the same for $850 up to, it's about the same, $1,500 in New Zealand dollars. So really good to know. No one's getting ripped off. Well, certainly not in the UK, America, or New Zealand. They're all about the same price. So I thought that was sort of interesting. Put a comment below what the euros is or Aussie dollars. Put a comment below what the retail is in your country. Just be interesting to see. So not cheap, and you're getting a premium helmet, and you're getting all the premium features that you'd expect from a Shoei. So there you go, people. That's my owner's review and experience with the new GT-Air 3 after running the GT-Air 1 for 8 years. I'm really happy with it. They've made some really good updates to it. We talked about the visor, the center there in terms of that. The visor is better. The pin locks wider, so you've got more peripheral. The venting in the top is better. The venting in the chin is about the same. The comfort is really good. The noise, I didn't notice a discernible difference. Still really quiet, which is what the GT-Air 1 was. The chin strap difference. You've got your center SRL3 ready to be loaded on if you need to. I really love the look of the helmet, and overall, I reckon it's a good upgrade if you run from the GT1 to the 3. If you've got a 2, yeah, that might be something to think about a little more, whether it's worth it. But certainly for me, really loving the lid. Loving this graphic too, by the way. This is called Scenario. Whoo, TC5. It's got this really cool sort of purpley thing on one side. It's back here as well. So it's got the Shoei going up the other way. You'd say, hey, it's not so different to you. Well, it is different, but I like black and white. Yep, and it just, if we look at the difference on the side, yeah, I just like the look of it. Actually, that way you can see quite a difference in the sizing, eh? Well, there you go, folks. Thanks so much for watching. That's my owner's honest review and experience with the GT-Air 3. Hope you enjoyed it. Put some comments below about your experience with it. Ask me any questions. I respond to every question. Thanks so much for watching. Really appreciate you all. Take care.